Attacking another country, your closest ally and friend, never ever works. Simple as that.
Doug Ford just said it to Donald Trump's face, and every Canadian felt that fire in their soul. The Ontario Premier stood at the edge of Niagara Falls and drew a line. He isn't just delivering a press conference, he is declaring economic independence. Trump's plan to treat Canada like a vassal state just hit a massive wall. This is the moment the polite neighbor officially stopped being polite. The world was watching Niagara Falls yesterday, but the real thunder wasn't coming from the water, it was coming from Ford. Trump has been ignoring Canada in every major speech lately. He thinks he can bully us into submission with simple threats. But Doug Ford just dropped a political bombshell that is shaking Washington. He called out Trump's protectionist government as a total, absolute failure. He even said Ronald Reagan is spinning in his grave right now. Think about the weight of those words for a Republican president. Ford is telling Trump, "You aren't a leader, you're a protectionist failure." And the data Ford has in his hands is enough to cripple the American dream. But wait, it gets much more personal than just political theory. Ford watched the U.S. Trade Representative on CBC News earlier. He watched Jameson Greer demand higher tariffs on Canadian workers. He watched them demand we open our dairy markets even further. And Ford's blood was absolutely boiling at his home in Ontario. He told the world he almost climbed through the television screen. He is done with the insults, and he is ready for the tit-for-tat war. Ford just promised a retaliation that will destroy American manufacturing. If Trump taxes our cars, Ford will tax the very materials they need. He is ready to drop the hammer on nickel, potash, aluminum, and steel. Ontario provides 65% of the high-grade nickel for the U.S. market. That nickel goes directly into their aerospace and military sectors. Without Ontario nickel, the Pentagon cannot build a single advanced jet. Imagine the U.S. Air Force grounded because they bullied Doug Ford. Listen to the moment Ford laid out the economic nuclear option.
I can tell you one thing, a tariff on Canada is a tax on Americans. They know it. They're feeling the crunch down there. They have the uncertainty down there, especially in Michigan. So, they want to tariff us. I say we tariff them back. We ship high-grade nickel right here in Ontario for over 65% of their manufacturing of aerospace into military, into their manufacturing sector alone. So maybe we should tariff that. Or maybe we should tariff the potash coming out of Saskatchewan going down there to keep their farmers going. Or tariff the aluminum coming from Quebec. That over 65% of their aluminum that they need for their manufacturing should be tariffed. Or the steel that we send down there. The list goes on and on and on.
Did you hear those numbers? 65% of their manufacturing supply. This isn't just a trade war, it's a national security crisis for Trump. Ford is talking about cutting off the potash that keeps American farmers alive. He is talking about the aluminum from Quebec that builds their cars. And here is the absolute kicker: the salt. An American company ships Canadian salt to clear U.S. roads in winter. Ford is ready to cut them off and let their cities freeze. You want to tax us? Fine. Let's see how your citizens like the crunch. This is a masterclass in using Canada's resources as a weapon. But wait, the pain doesn't stop at the factories or the farms. Ford just reminded Trump that the Am-Can fortress works both ways. Ontario is the #1 customer to 17 American states. We buy more from them than anyone else on the planet, including China. If Trump kills this deal, he kills 9 million American jobs. Think about Michigan. Think about Ohio. Think about Texas. 9 million American families depend on Ontario's business to eat. A tariff on Canada is a direct, violent tax on those families. Listen to the cold, hard truth Trump doesn't want his voters to hear.
It doesn't work, folks. When you have a protectionist government like President Trump, it fails every single time. Ronald Reagan is spinning in his grave right now, and it's not about protectionism. You can't unscramble an egg. You have to make the omelet larger and make both areas, both countries thrive and prosper. I call that the AmCan Fortress. We're their number one customer in the world. 9 million Americans wake up to build a widget, a service, a product for Ontario alone. That's 9 million Americans that will be affected if he continues to tariff Ontario.
Trump wants to unscramble the egg, but Ford says it's impossible. Our economies are fused together like steel and fire. Ford is proposing the AmCan Fortress, a united economic front, but he is also heading to the U.S. this spring to meet Governor Abbott. He is going state by state to tell Americans that their president is failing them. While Ford defends the border, Mark Carney is securing the global markets. Canada is building a cluster of nations to bypass Washington. We are signing deals with India, Japan, and Australia at breakneck speed. We are proving to the world that we don't need a master in D.C. The message from Niagara Falls is the end of an era of Canadian silence. Canada is not a punching bag for American election cycles. We are a proud, strong, and completely independent nation. We protect our workers, we protect our sovereignty, and we fight back. The 51st state? Not in a million years, Donald. Not while we have leaders ready to stand up for our resource wealth. Canada is awake, Canada is united, and we will never, ever back down. Hit subscribe now if Doug Ford spoke for you today. Drop your province in the comments. Let's show them our unity from coast to coast. Share this video to tell Trump that Canada is ready for the economic fight. Turn on the bell. Our next expose on the Carney-Ford alliance is coming soon. Canada is strong. Canada is free. And we are just getting started.